1. Disfluencies. Fillers. These are the sounds and words we use when we pause to think. They make speech sound unscripted. Use them, but don't overdo it. They should be more frequent at the start of a new thought. Fillers. Filled pauses, verbal tics, I mean, sort of, kind of.
So let's talk about Warehouse 9. I mean, it's always been known for Broadwich West.
Right, but what's happening now is, it's a fundamental shift. It's not just about the beer anymore. 2, interruptions and overlaps. In real conversations, people don't always wait for the other person to finish. They jump in to agree, disagree, or add a point. The line-by-line format is perfect for this. They're trying to create a true community hub, which means more than just...
Exactly, more than just craft beer aficionados. They're going for families, for everyone.
These are the small verbal cues the listener gives to show they are paying attention and understanding. Yeah. They are crucial for making a dialogue feel interactive.
Right.
Words.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Sure, exactly. Wow.
Yeah.
And the key is that they changed their licensing.
So now they can serve ciders, seltzers, even slushies.
Right, which opens up the audience completely. 4, repetition and self-correction. Speakers often restart a sentence, repeat a word for emphasis, or correct themselves mid-thought. This is a really big deal for them. They're trying to move away from, not move away from, but expand on their core identity. 5, sentence fragments and informal structure. Not every sentence needs to be grammatically perfect or complete. People speak in fragments, especially in a fast-paced conversation.
And the Majestic, wow. I mean, the history there.
Since 1926.
It's just incredible. And what the Traney family is doing, it's not a restoration.
No, not at all. It's a rewrite, as they call it.
Excellent.
6, casual language and contractions. Use contractions or don't everywhere. Employ colloquialisms and informal phrasing to make the host sound relatable.
I gotta say, the detail about the marble tables just blew my mind.
It's wild, right? I think that was from the old steam room. 7, leading and tag questions. Using questions to guide the conversation or confirm understanding makes the dialogue flow more naturally. So Voxel's role is to basically be the hype machine,
Right, to keep that excitement going during the construction lull.
Exactly. You can't let that energy die down, can you?
Yeah.
By combining these techniques, the script will move from a written document to a blueprint for a realistic human conversation. Naturalness notes.
Okay, let's just jump right in. It is Friday, January 30, 2026. And if you're in San Pedro right now, there's a feeling in the air. You've got the salt from the port. Obviously, that's a given.
That's always there.
But there's something else. You can hear it's the sound of construction. It's the sound of new bars, new restaurants. The whole city is just, buzzing.
It really is. It feels like this moment of collision, doesn't it? You have this deep, deep maritime history, the docks, the old fishermen, and it's crashing right into this wave of sleek modernization.
It's messy, but it's exciting.
It's absolutely fascinating to watch.
Yeah, there's a huge vibe shift, and that's really what we're digging into today. We're talking about a brewery rebranding as a community spot, an old YMCA becoming a speakeasy, a massive waterfront development.
But we're looking at it through a specific lens this time.
Exactly. For this deep dive, we're not just reading the news. We're asking, how could a digital storytelling company, we're calling them Voxel Micro Video Labs.com, or just Voxel, how could they actually narrate this whole transformation?
Right. We're imagining Voxel as this specialist in short-form video, maybe some 3D visualization, and they're tasked with capturing the story of a city in flux.
Because if you don't capture that story as it's happening, you just lose it. It disappears.
You do. So we've got a pile of sources here, and we're going to hit 5 key transformations happening right now and ask, okay, how does Voxel tell this story?
All right, let's do it. First up, Warehouse 9. Most people know it as the home of Broadwich West. Big space, great beer, but that's changing.
Yeah, this is a really interesting pivot. They're moving from just a brewery space to what they're calling a community-first hub. And it all comes down to the license.
Which sounds incredibly boring.
It sounds like paperwork, but it's a total game changer.
How so?
Well, before, they could only serve what they brewed. That's it. Now, they're serving hard seltzers, slushies, ciders, a whole new menu. Slushies. And they have rotating food trucks like BBQ and other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So suddenly, it's not just a place for beer nerds.
Right. It's for families. It's for people who, don't want an IPA. It's a place to just hang out.
It becomes a third place. And they're backing this up with a single voice strategy for their social media, unifying it with crafted.
So they're selling the whole district, not just a pint of beer.
Exactly. But here's the problem, right? If I'm scrolling through my phone and I see a photo of a beer glass.
Okay, keep scrolling. So boring. We've seen it 1,000 times.
So if Voxel comes in, they can't use static photos.
Yeah.
It has to be what you might call rapid turnaround micro content.
Okay, that definitely sounds like a buzzword. What does that actually mean?
Fair enough. It means social proof.
Yeah.
You don't tell me it's family friendly. You show me. Imagine it's Mother's Day. They're debuting their Brunch and Bands series.
Okay.
Voxel isn't making a polished commercial. They're shooting a quick, 15-second short. You see kids playing. You see the sun glinting off a cider glass. You hear the band. You feel the energy.
You're not filming the product. You're filming the reaction.
Precisely. You film the fun. Take the San Pedro Music Festival they have coming up.
Yeah.
Voxel's job is to capture the feeling of being in that crowd. It's about creating FOMO,
Fear of missing out.
Yeah. You want people watching a highlight from Trivia Wednesdays thinking, man, why wasn't I there?
Yeah.
That's how you prove the identity shifted. You make it visible.
I like that. Okay, from a modern warehouse to something much, much older. The Majestic.
Oh, this story is fantastic. This is the old Army and Navy YMCA, built back in 1926. It's being reopened by the Trani family, who are local restaurant legends.
But they're being very clear. It is not a museum. The owner, Dustin Trani, called it a rewrite of history.
Which is such a bold way to put it. He's not trying to preserve it in amber. He's repurposing its soul.
Okay, can we just talk about the tables for a second?
The marble tables, yes.
They're from the original 1926 steam room.
Where soldiers and sailors used to sweat it out. I know, it's an amazing detail. And they've got a speakeasy down in the old boiler room.
So for a company like Voxel, this is a really tricky narrative. How do you honor the history without making it feel, dusty?
This is where their visual effects could be incredible. Imagine a past to present story. You start with a grainy black and white photo of the gym from the 20s. You see soldiers boxing.
Got it.
And then with a seamless transition, it just morphs into the same angle of the room today as this elegant dining room. You connect 100 years in 5 seconds.
Wow. Yeah, that respects the grandfather who was there, but it sells a reservation to the granddaughter today.
Exactly. And for that speakeasy, you lean into the mystery.
You don't show the inside.
Never. Voxel would just create these little micro stories, teasing it, show the door, hint at the password. You make it an exclusive insider thing.
You build the mystique.
And that's what gets the younger crowd interested in what they might otherwise just see as some old building.
Right. Okay, speaking of building, let's go down to the waterfront. West Harbor. This thing is huge.
The scale is just staggering. It's a $500 million project, all aimed at being ready for the 2028 Olympics. And they just announced 6 new dining concepts.
Yeah, and we're not talking small-time stuff. Mike Hess Brewing from San Diego is opening their first LA spot there. And Tacos Au Franc.
From the Netflix show Taco Chronicles, the Michelin-recognized one.
Yes, those tacos look incredible. And then there's a 6,200-seat amphitheater, a giant observation wheel.
But here's the thing. It's 2026.
Yeah.
Right now, if you go down there, what do you actually see?
There are fences,
Yeah.
cranes. It's a construction site.
Exactly. It's what I call the waiting game. And that's where public excitement could just fizzle out.
Yeah.
So how do you keep people invested?
That has to be Voxel's job here. To humanize the void.
Humanize the void. I love that.
Yeah.
And you do it by making it tangible. So for Tacos Au Franc, the kitchen isn't built yet. Who cares?
Right.
Voxel goes to their original spot, films the chef. You get the sizzle of the meat on the grill, the steam. You sell the flavor before the building even has walls.
You create these meet the chef features.
Exactly. You build the anticipation. And then for the physical space, especially with something like the Hopscotch Immersive Art Gallery coming in, you use tech. You use augmented reality.
AR can feel like a gimmick sometimes, though. Does it really work?
It works if it has a purpose. Imagine Voxel creates a filter. You point your phone at the ugly construction fence, and on your screen, you see a 3D animation of the art that will be inside.
So you're letting people peek behind the curtain.
You're letting them step inside virtually. It turns a negative, the construction noise, into a positive, the future experience. Voxel's role is to be the hype machine.
Got it. So you're keeping the story alive when there's nothing physical to see yet.
If you let there be silence, people would just fill it with complaints about traffic. You have to control the narrative.
Now, we've talked a lot about for-profit businesses, but a huge story in San Pedro right now is the Port of LA grants.
This is so important. It's the story that underpins the whole community ecosystem. The port just awarded a record $1.85 million to 47 different nonprofits.
And looking at the list, it's everyone. The Boys and Girls Club, the San Pedro City Ballet, International Bird Rescue.
A really broad range of organizations doing critical work. They are, and their budgets are tight. If you have a choice between a marketing video and, say, bird feed for the rescue, you're buying the bird feed every time. The Voxel needs to offer something different, not hype videos, but impact documentation. Take the Avalon Arts and Cultural Alliance. They got a grant for maritime-themed art and STEAM workshops. Voxel doesn't just show up and interview the director. They send one person with a camera to that workshop. You get a close-up of a kid's hands as they're building a little model ship. You capture the look on their face when they finally get it. Yes. And here's why that's so important. This isn't just about marketing. It's about survival.
What do you mean?
Because in a year, that nonprofit has to go back to the port and ask for more money. If they show up with a spreadsheet, that's one thing. But if they show up with a 90-second Voxel video, that makes you feel the impact on those kids. That's how you turn data, that $1.85 million, into a tangible human story. And that emotion is what keeps these essential programs going. The new residential tower at 155 West 6th. They just broke ground. It's a big joint venture. Going to be 281 apartments. It sounds like diesel engines at 7 a.m. This is construction fatigue. It's a real thing. The community can turn on a project just because the process of building it is so disruptive.
Absolutely.
Right. So Voxel's job here is to change the context of that noise. You can't stop it, but you can show people the reward at the end. More like 3D overlays on video. Voxel could create a time-lapse of the site. But as it builds, you overlay a transparent 3D model of the finished building. You highlight the public green space, the new retail. Exactly. It reframes the current inconvenience as a down payment on a future community asset. It helps neighbors see what they're gaining, not just what they're putting up with. It is. It's all about managing expectations and making the community feel like partners in the progress, not victims of it. I think the big picture is a city that is fundamentally rewriting its own story in real time. You have the old historic San Pedro merging with this huge wave of new investment and new people. No, absolutely not. In this changing ecosystem, Voxel becomes the narrator. They're the ones weaving these threads together. Without that narrative, it's just a bunch of disconnected construction sites. With it, it's a renaissance. They create a sense of cohesion that doesn't physically exist yet. The storytelling gets there before the concrete does. Well, it really poses a question for you, for the listener. In an era where a physical place can change so fast, where a steam room literally becomes a dinner table, does the digital record of a city start to become more important than the actual bricks and mortar?
Wow.
And if a building's history is rewritten, is the true story the one in the archives, or is it the one we tell each other on our screens every day? I think in 2026, the story might just be winning.